Nothing that big tech doesn't want moves across the Senate floor.
There's a lot of lobbying going on about this bill, and the Senate is slower, and there's some issues in the bill that probably they're going to want to correct. And so, slow rolling, it's the best way to have this thing not pass. It is unprecedented that it moves so quickly in the House, although it's been a long time coming. You remember Donald Trump's the one that had the executive order around TikTok and this service. And so this has been brewing for a long time. It's just that it will take a lot longer in the Senate to do it, and there's opponents like Rand Paul and others.
You use TikTok, but only on a burner phone. In other words, you don't trust that you could carry it on a phone with you into private spaces and not be spied on?
Look, Margaret, I don't trust any of them, but I particularly don't trust a Chinese-owned company, that's all. I had it on a burner phone. I wrote a column in the New York Times about 4 or 5 years ago about it. I think it's an exciting app. I think it's a broadcast network. It's obviously entertainment, and it does it really well. I just feel like every Chinese company I've covered has had the tentacles of the Chinese Communist Party involved in it, whether they like it or not. Now, that's not to be said there's not issues with every single U.S.-based company, Meta and Alphabet. But this is a very different step level as far as I'm concerned. And this is a foreign adversary, and it's very different. China, a Chinese-owned company would not be able to own CBS. And I consider this is a media company. And so that's the question. Are we going to allow a media company from China to have so much purview around the United States? We are not allowed to be in China. Our companies are not allowed to be there, and so there's not reciprocity because they would be worried about the exact same things we should be worried about, which is propaganda, surveillance, anything else. And I get the First Amendment arguments and everything else, but TikTok's not going away, kids. This is the thing that's that TikTok's using a little bit that is, I think, disingenuous in that it's not going away. Someone's either going to buy it or they're going to be allowed to continue to operate with some guardrails, which is happening now with Project Texas. What do you buy precisely? Because the algorithm's not coming with this company. The Chinese government would never let that happen because the algorithm will actually, if you could reverse engineer it, prove possibly that there is problems with it or anything else. I don't know if there is. I just know should there be allowed to have the opportunity. And so what are you buying? You're buying the 170 million, say, U.S. users and a great brand, but the algorithm isn't there. And one of the magic of TikTok is the algorithm and the history that you have there.
The thing that targets you. Use TikTok, but only on a burner phone.